Hi everyone, hope you're all doing good. So in this particular video we are going to talk about something called as the Wick retest trading setup. So it's a kind of a price action trading setup which indicates that the market is actually clearing out weak traders and their positions. It's more like a shakeout, or it's more like a trap for the weak hand traders. So when I mean by weak hand traders, I'm referring to someone like retail traders or small scale portfolio managers and all these guys. So this particular trading setup is usually based on the concept of clearing out the weak traders. So we will talk more about this particular trading setup. We will try to understand how this setup actually works. We will try to understand the pros and cons of this particular trading setup. But before we do that, kindly hit on the subscribe button, tap on the notification icon. And also, if you are new to my channel, do check out my website, that is www.tradingcoach.co.in, to know more about me, to know more about my trading style. Alright, now let's just get into the topic. Let us try to understand about this Wick retest trading setup. So here you can see a nice diagrammatic example of Wick retest trading setup. So on the left hand side, you have this bullish Wick retest trading setup. And on the right hand side we have this bearish Wick retest trading setup. So first of all, let us talk about this bullish Wick retest trading setup. So the way it usually appears on the chart, I will show you a couple of actual examples when we go through some actual charts. But right now let me explain this particular concept on a theoretical basis. So first of all, you will see a kind of a wick. Alright, so the wick will be you'll see a kind of a wick, and right after the wick you will see a kind of a turning in the prices, right? So we have a wick here, and right after the wick you can see the prices have turned around, right? The market has actually rallied a little bit upside, but right after this turnaround or the bounce back in the actual prices, the market will come back and it will try to retest this particular wick, and right after retesting this particular wick, once again the prices will bounce back. Alright, so in a simple sense, you will have a wick which is on the downside, right? You will see a downside wick, and right after this downside wick you will see a kind of an upside market behavior. You will see an upside movement in the stock prices or asset prices, and right after this upside price action, quickly the prices will come back and it will retest this particular wick only to bounce back once again. So typically what's happening here is right after this wick formation, we will have a cluster of weak hand traders. Alright, the traders who are pretty weak in the market, people with less capital, traders like retail traders and small scale portfolio managers, they will all take position somewhere around this particular wick, and somehow they might have got trapped within this specific wick. So what happens is, when the market comes back and it retests this specific wick, it usually clears out all these weak traders and their positions. Alright, it's a very simple trading setup, and the basic logic is all about, you have a cluster of weak hand traders who have, the cluster of weak hand traders who got completely struck into this particular wick, and the market is coming back in order to retest and also to clear out all these weak hand traders. So this is a bullish example, and here you can see a bearish diagrammatic example of the same trading setup. The same concept. The wick has a cluster of weak hand traders, possibly short sellers, and all these weak sellers who have taken short position in the market, and the market just comes back to retest this particular wick only to clear out all these weak hand traders. Alright, so the prices will clear out all these weak hand traders, it gives a kind of a retest, and then it moves in the downward direction. So we can see this particular setup on all different time frames, on all liquid instruments, that includes stocks, cryptocurrencies, futures, options, commodities, whatever you name it. So once you find this particular trading setup, the probability of this setup is very good, and you will be able to capture a very good risk reward. So that's how this Wick retest trading setup actually works. This is the basic concept. So now we have understood the theoretical concept. Let us look at some actual examples using some live charts. So take a look at this particular price action over here. So right now I'm looking at Tata Consultancy Services, that is TCS 15 minutes time frame. And if you look at this particular chart over here, you can see a very good sell-off in the beginning of this particular point, that is somewhere around 27th of October. So since from 27th of October to all the way till 28th of October, we had a kind of a very good sell-off. And right after the sell-off, we had a nice wick over here, right? You can see a very good wick exactly over here, right? So the wick just got, the prices just touched this particular point through the wick, and the market bounced back all the way from this particular point. So the actual level is somewhere around 3,394. So right after touching 3,394, the prices bounced back. You had a very good buying pressure over here, and also you can see a nice wick over here, right? So this is the wick where you can notice most of the weak hand traders are actually trapped in the market. They got clustered over here. Alright, so all the people who have bought the stock earlier, and also all the people who sold the stock at this particular point, all these uninformed traders, right? All these uninformed weak traders who are very small scale in the market, they got somehow accumulated, they got somehow trapped at this particular wick. Alright, so we have a wick which is an indication of a cluster of weak hand traders. So right after this week, we have seen a very good bounce back in the stock prices. And right after this bounce back, once again you can see that the prices have fallen down only to retest this particular wick, right? So you can notice a fall, and this fall is nothing but just a retest at this particular wick. So you can notice this particular point. From this point you can see the wick has made its low, right? So the market came back to this particular point only to retest that specific lowest point, and right after the retest you can see the prices have bounced back all the way to the top, right? So after retesting this particular wick around somewhere like 3,394, you can notice that the stock prices went all the way till 3,520. Okay, so in this particular process we can notice that all these weak hand traders who have got clustered around this wick is actually getting cleared out in the market, right? When you see this retest, right, the market is actually clearing out all these weak hand traders. The market is trying to shake out all these weak hand traders from their positions. So these weak hand traders could be buyers, could be sellers, or they could be retail traders, they could be small scale portfolio managers. So all these guys who are now clustered around this particular wick is actually getting shaken out. And right after the shakeout, or right after this particular retest, you can see a very good upside movement in the stock prices, right? The market has climbed nearly around 5% all the way from 3,390 to 3,520. Alright, that is, I think, in a matter of just a few days. I think it is just within 2 days we can see a very sharp market movement right after this retest. Alright, so this is a good example of a bullish wick retest setup. So as I said before, once again this particular trading setup is nothing but it's a it will have a cluster of weak hand traders, and the market is trying to retest these weak hand traders in order to shake them out of the market, in order to clear out all these weak hand traders. Alright, so keep in mind, once you see this kind of price action, once you see a wick and once you see the prices retesting this particular wick, when you see a bounce back, you can quickly go ahead and take a long position. Alright, so you can take a long position right after the bounce back, and you can keep your stop loss just below the turning point, and you can ride the market behavior all the way to the top. It's a very simple setup. At the same time, it's one of the very high probability trading setup. Alright, so we have seen the example of a bullish wick retest trading setup. Now let us look at an example of a bearish wick retest trading setup. So right now I'm looking at Marico Limited for 2-hour time frame. So in this particular chart, first of all, you can notice a very good wick over here, right? So all the way from here to here, we can see a very nice upside wick, and the wick has extended all the way from 582 to all the way till 589. That is somewhere from 582 to 590, we can see a nice upper wick. So just like in the previous example, this particular wick is nothing but it's a cluster of weak hand traders. So all the weak players who have taken long position, who have taken long trades, just like retail traders, uninformed traders, all of them have completely got trapped into this particular wick. So right after this wick, you can notice, the price has actually fallen down, right? So once this upper wick has formed in the price action, the market has actually fallen down. We can clearly notice that. But right after this sell-off, you can notice the prices have once again bounced back, only to retest this particular wick. So you have a large wick and then you have a downside turning point. So right after this downside sell-off, the market has actually bounced back only to retest this particular wick in order to clear out all these weak hand traders. So this particular retest has cleared out all the weak hand traders who got trapped in this particular wick. And right after this retest, we can see a very good sell-off in the stock prices, right? And you can notice the prices have tested this particular wick multiple times. It is not just a simple retest. This is a multiple times retest. But somehow each time the prices retested this particular high of the wick, the market kept falling down, right? And right after this retest, we can notice a very good sell-off. And this sell-off has driven the prices all the way from 588 to all the way down till 550. And that's almost a 6% move in the stock prices. So what you could have done is, once you see this kind of a bearish wick retest, what you can do is right after the retest, when the prices are trying to fall back, when the prices are trying to reverse back, you can go ahead and take a short position, or you can go ahead and buy a put option, which can give you a very good downside movement, which will help you to capture a very good downside returns. Alright, so just to recap once again, this is what we call as a wick retest trading setup. So first of all, you will see a wick either on the downside or either on the upside. Right after the wick, the prices will try to retest the wick, and right after the retest, the market will move in the initial direction of the price. Alright, so this particular wick retest trading setup is caused by the cluster of weak hand traders who got accumulated at the wick. The market will try to retest the wick only to shake out these weak hand traders. This is a simple and high probability trading setup. You can apply this across any time frame, that's including from all the way from 15 minutes to all the way till 1 week time frame. So you can apply this on any trading segments, that's including currencies, commodities, stocks, as well as cryptocurrencies, including futures and options. So make sure you practice this particular strategy on a demo account first. So once you're comfortable with this particular trading technique, you can try to apply this on the live market. At the same time, if you have any doubts or any questions on this particular trading setup, you can leave it in the comment section below. I will try to go through them and I will try to answer it. And also, if you like this video, kindly click on the like button. We will catch up in the next video, and happy trading.